Hey, how's it going, folks? This is Jake Martin with REIPrintMail, one of the senior direct marketing coaches here. Sitting across from Charles Lott, another senior direct marketing coach, and today I'm going to be asking a few questions about our mailing list. And so starting off, Charles, how do you determine the ideal refresh rate for a mailing list?
Well, Jake, when we look at this, we kind of start at the same spot with every client. So we've learned that 3 months is about when you want to do your refresh. And as you get into the KPIs and as you get through those first 90 days, you're able to evaluate, well, did the calls fall off? Are we still strong through the end of the 3 months? And then we start making our adjustments. So if the calls are noticeably falling off during 3 months, we go with a 2-month refresh on the next campaign. But if they're going strong, we will possibly stretch that out another month, or in the next campaign, plan on a 4-month campaign.
Gotcha. So are the clients telling you that the calls are falling off? Are you monitoring that? How do you figure that out?
So that kind of goes with each person individually. So we have REIComplete, where we supply phone numbers, we track all of the KPIs for the client. It allows us to go in and we can see how many calls they're getting and we can evaluate for them if it's falling off or not. For other clients who don't use that service, they supply us the phone numbers and use their CRM. We're at their will to tell us when those are falling off or where they're strong, and then we go off of their results that they give us.
Cool. Yeah, that'd make me feel a lot better as a client that if calls did start falling off, you can pivot at any point, right?
Yeah, it's really great. And something else that I have clients do is they do the KPI tracking with REIComplete on purpose, because then in a sense, we can see if we are maybe just missing calls. Things that people don't notice is you could be missing up to 50% of your calls just because what if it came in late at night? What if it was a hang up? What if they called while your VA was, or your acquisitions person was on the line with somebody else? And it allows us to capture all that data and see if there is a true fall off, or if maybe we just had a weird timing of callings or being on the phone with somebody else.
Right. Another good question. What are the benefits of updating a list monthly versus quarterly? I know typically we do quarterly, but there are some situations we do monthly, right?
Yeah, so if you're getting into kind of the details, and let's say we're going after pre-foreclosures, foreclosures, things of that have more of a timing factor in there, you're gonna need to think about, well, how often do I need to refresh this list, and how often do I need to bring on new people, drop people off? So we've learned that when you refresh a list, typically you lose about 20% of the people on the list, bring on a new 20%. So you gotta play around with the motivation, and you gotta see how many people are having motivation and when that is there, when it's not. So that, once again, individual answer there, and we have to use those KPIs to answer that question.
Right, yeah, you mentioned foreclosure. I imagine that has a higher turnover rate because people are getting foreclosed upon, right?
Exactly, yeah. So if you keep mailing out to the same person, maybe that house is already gone and now we're sending mailers out, we're wasting money.
Right, and this is a tough question. What situation would we ever need to use a weekly refresh rate, or would we ever have to do that?
Oh, man. Jake, I've been working here for going on a year now, and I've never once refreshed weekly. I think that'd be really aggressive. If somebody brought that to me, I think I would tell them that they're just wasting money. That's a lot of extra data that's not needed. And also, you're not creating brand awareness and name awareness at that point. You're hitting a person for the first time too many times. We want them to see that same mailer at least 3 times. I feel the magic number is 6, and even past that, up to 9 times. They get comfortable with the name, they get comfortable with the brand, and then at that point, they get the curiosity and the comfortability to make that call and investigate a little bit further. So I honestly would never recommend refreshing every week.
Right, I feel like that was a trick question as well, because I don't think I've ever done a weekly refresh. If it's a new list every week, that's a totally different story, but refreshing within the same criteria, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
A little unnecessary. What challenge can arise if you aren't refreshing a list often enough?
Well, as we work through this, it's natural that you'll have people say, take me off your list. You're gonna have people who sell their homes. You're gonna have people that something happens in their life and they thought they were gonna sell and now they're not. And then on the reverse side, you're gonna have people who go through hard times and they need to sell their homes. They need somebody to reach out and help them. And if you're not refreshing often enough, you're losing on both of those factors. You're not bringing in the new people, and you have all these other people that have no motivation anymore, and you're still sending them mail, and once again, you're wasting money. So finding that magic refresh spot is definitely key in any of the mailing campaigns you do.
Yeah, I like to call that time decay.
Yeah.
Right? And as we spoke about earlier, there are a lot of people where their life situation did change. Maybe they got foreclosed upon. Maybe they were in probate or in an inheritance situation, and they sold the house, right? And so
Exactly.
we're aiming for people that are on the brink of selling their house, and so it's very common that maybe we didn't get to them quick enough, or they did end up selling their house. So refreshing that list is extremely important.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it definitely comes down to your market, your individual needs, the type of list that you're selling. And the most important thing is, no matter what you're doing, track your KPIs, know what your results are, and from there, make pivots based off of your data, not off your gut feeling. because it's all how your market's reacting.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Making decisions based off the data rather than gut feeling is exactly what we do. I tell a lot of people, if you were to look at a list of all of our mailers, it'd be almost impossible for you to tell me without our data what mailers are working best, because it almost doesn't make sense sometimes, but it comes down to the KPIs, right?
Exactly. So, well, Jake, thank you for asking me the questions today. Hopefully this video helps some people out and helps them make that great decision. And as always, you can always reach out to myself, Jake, or any one of the coaches here at REIPrintMail, and we'll definitely answer any questions you have.
Well, guys, if you heard anything that really stuck out to you and you want to learn more about, or you just want to figure out exactly what's working in your market in terms of mailers and data, go ahead and click the link down below and book a call with either me or Charles or any one of the direct marketing coaches here, and we'll dive into your market for you.
And also remember, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys very much. Hope the video helped.